Well, hello, happy Thursday. Today we are going to briefly discuss how to manage pelvic floor symptoms, so leaking, symptoms of heaviness and prolapse, while also pregnant during cold and flu season. Kind of coupling a few things. You don't have to be pregnant to get something out of this video. With the holidays are coming up, it's going to be a high stress, cold and flu season. So you can get something out of this even if you aren't pregnant. But we're going to talk about our top 4 tips. I am Lauren Anderson. I am the co-creator of Stronger Mom Collective with Lauren Mott. I am a personal trainer and yoga teacher that focuses on perinatal, pre and postnatal fitness. I have my master's in exercise physiology and I'm studying to become a doula. Obviously very passionate about women's health and pregnancy and postpartum. So, my very first tip. Before you sneeze or cough while you're pregnant, or if you're experiencing pelvic floor symptoms during cold and flu season, is to perform a quick Kegel or pelvic floor contraction right before you sneeze or cough. Coughing, this is a little harder to do with. Trust me, I know this from being sick last week and also being pregnant. But if you can catch yourself right before you sneeze and do a very quick Kegel or pelvic floor contraction, you might save yourself a little bit of leakage, pressure, pain in the pelvic area. Our number 2 tip, do not let yourself hold your urine. Also, try not to let yourself get constipated. So the more pressure you have down there from a full bladder or from constipation, the harder it is going to be to control leakage when you cough or when you sneeze. So if you struggle with constipation during pregnancy, or you struggle with constipation and you're not pregnant but you're sick during cold and flu season, or you're sick with a cold or flu and you're coughing and sneezing, go talk to your primary care physician or your OB or your gynecologist and ask them to prescribe you or give you some tips on how to manage that. Sometimes they can give you an extra strength stool softener, or just getting more fiber in your diet, or probiotics. So that's something you discuss with your doctor or your nutritionist, but try to figure out how to get more fiber. And then holding your urine. I know as a mom, we often get really, really busy and we don't let ourselves stop and go to the bathroom, or we rush through it. So first of all, take your potty breaks, moms. Yes, I said potty. Go to the bathroom, let yourself urinate, let yourself defecate, do the things you need to do. It's like the ultimate form of self-care, letting yourself pee. Also, don't rush through it. Don't squeeze it out. Empty your bowel, empty your bladder all the way. Get it all out. And if you need help emptying, put your feet up. Get your knees at 90 degrees or a little bit higher than your pelvis. So that's using a squatty potty or a step stool to put your feet up. So again, do a Kegel. Don't hold your pee. Don't get constipated. Our number 3 tip is don't forget to relax your pelvic floor. Tension in the pelvic floor can cause pelvic floor distress. So you're walking around, you're sick, you're pregnant. Maybe you're not pregnant, but that's what I'm focusing on right now. You're sick, you're pregnant, and then you're high stress. So you're probably clenching, you might be clenching your posterior and anterior pelvic floor. That causes tension. That can cause leakage in and of itself. So we want to be cautious about that. So not only do we need to practice maybe doing that quick Kegel before we sneeze or before we cough, but we need to relax the pelvic floor. We need to take moments throughout the day where we sit, take deep breaths. Our favorite move, we've talked about it quite a bit here, is to do legs up the wall. So you lay back, you butt your butt up against a wall, and you sweep your legs up the wall. You can also lay your knees over a chair. So 90 degrees, knees over a chair. Works really great, and it really allows that kind of system to downregulate. You can really get some breath access into the pelvic floor. And then, if all else fails, the final thing, don't be afraid to wear a pad or a panty liner during this period. There is nothing wrong with using pads and panty liners as a tool. What we talk about as far as wanting to avoid them is using them to rely on them for a long period postpartum, or for a long period even in pregnancy. If you're leaking constantly, you can use them, that's fine. But if your pelvic floor concerns are bothering you or causing quality of life issues, pelvic floor physical therapy is accessible to you both in pregnancy and after pregnancy. If you have issues with that during COVID right now, then you can schedule online visits and they might be able to offer you some solutions. So those tips really quickly were: 1, do a slight Kegel before you sneeze, before you cough. A small pelvic floor contraction might help you control leakage of urine, pain, pressure, pelvic floor pain. Number 2 was do not hold your pee. Try not to get constipated. We want to reduce any kind of pelvic floor pressure going on, and full bladder, and no bowel release that causes excess pressure. Number 3 is don't forget to down-regulate the pelvic floor. Relax, put your feet up, take some deep breaths, let your pelvic floor do the entire excursion. And number 4 was, if all else fails, do not be afraid to wear a pad or a panty liner. And then for further help, go see a pelvic floor physical therapist. They are available during pregnancy and postpartum, and we're here to help. So we have just released a new pregnancy guide, and that is free on our website. If you go to strongermomcollective.com/pregnancy, you can download that now, and that can help you get started on moving better during pregnancy and releasing any fears, help you feel a little bit more dependent, and encourage you and make you feel like you have some control over your movement during pregnancy. We are here for you. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to DM us, ask us any questions, and I hope you got something out of this today. We'll see you next time.